Ben, look like you checked in at 12:40, right? I had some more things that I wanted to do. Let me do a sound check real quick. I did a video yesterday and I listened to the replay, and I'm also on Instagram, but the sound check was terrible. So if you're on Instagram, on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, all the platforms I'm live streaming on, I do have my AirPods in my ear. Just let me know how the sound is coming in on your end. Instagram, you all let me know. Also, hit the like button, right? Hit the thumbs up, hit the like button, Periscope and Instagram. Show some digital love, pump those hearts, and invite and share. So I just logged into my account. It seemed like my sound was doing well, but just let me know if that's the same quality that you're getting, because I really, really hate it, right? I hate it when I do a live stream, an informative live stream, and the sound quality is terrible. So I had some sound issues. My live stream on yesterday, want to make sure I'm good. The topic for today, people, is how your birth certificate. How your birth certificate, right? Thank you, Instagram. Let me know. Thank you on IG. Make sure I'm not showing any information. I took an old beat up birth certificate that I had, right? So let me cover this portion up. How your birth certificate or Federal Reserve notes. Want to show you all, right, how you all are cash cows for the government and to the government, right? And your birth certificates, along with your social security cards as well. When I say Federal Reserve notes, okay, good. My sound is good. When I say federal or refer to Federal Reserve notes, I'm speaking of cash, right? Federal Reserve notes. So on Instagram, you can find me on YouTube, right? You can find me on YouTube because you won't be able to see any of the articles that I share. And just for this YouTube live stream, I changed my tag name or to Queendom Money Moves, right? I just did it for this live stream. I wanted it to read Queendom Money Moves because I am showing you all money moves, right? And showing you why, especially if you are a Dave Ramsey um, fan or follower, right? How Dave Ramsey's advice keeps you in oppression. So if you're on Instagram, you won't be able to see the backdrop as I adjust these mic, or you won't be able to see the articles that I'm referring to. So you can hop on my it's Queen of Crypto on YouTube if you're on IG. But if you're already on IG and you just want to stay along and follow along, right? Then we can do that as well. So I just decided to change the name. Let me move this over to Queendom Money Moves, right? Queendom Money Moves for this broadcast. So, hello, you all coming in. I won't do the 5 minutes of fame, right? I want to go right into the topic, but I see you all. Thanks for coming in. Minnesota is in. Hello to you. And Millionaires Are Us is in. Hello to you. We have Sin Radio. This information, he says, or she says, right? Sin, SIN Radio. This information is nothing new. We've known this for many years. Anything that's a certificate is backed by assets. When we exposed this, we were called conspiracy theory, and it's not anything new, right? I'm not going to proclaim that this is new information, but this is just information or a live stream that I felt the need to share with my followers today, right? With my followers today, and the reason being, saying radio is because Miss Sherry Peel Jackson. Let me share her book. Miss Sherry Peel Jackson made a post on, and I'll see if I can find this post on Instagram. I mean, I'm sorry, not Instagram, on Facebook, right? She made a post on Facebook and she wanted to know what topic she stated that she's going to start doing more live training and videos, and she asked the question what topics would be topics that she can speak on, right? And she's author of this book, How to Speak It to the IRS. And a lot of people response were how to become uh, a natural citizens, right? Where they're not under these corporation cash cows for the government, right? And she responded and to the comments that she's not teaching on that. Now, anybody know the history or the background with Sherry Peel Jackson? She began to teach people about the tax laws and the government, and stating that they were corporate citizens. She was arrested and actually imprisoned for that, right? And so released from prison. And so now she just gives people ways via legally by starting your own home-based business, right? Of how to uh, not to be the government's cash cow. I'll say it that way. So let me share this post with you all. So those people that's on Facebook and YouTube and Periscope should see this. Again, you won't be able to see it on Instagram, but you can just listen along. She said, "Hi everyone, thinking about starting classes on social media. What would you like to hear me teach about?" And a lot of people, right, their comments, she had 66 comments, 66, the number of man, wanted to discuss corporate citizenship, how to be a national born citizen, taxes and starting a business on the legal side, right? Starting a home based business and budgeting, financial freedom. And then you have these people that status corrections to being a non taxpayer and working private contract. And she responded, "Hi, Greg, I'm going to focus on the system," right? So she's going to focus within the system. I'm sorry. So she won't be flagged. Plus, 99% of the folks want to learn how to operate within the system. So let's be honest. 99% of people want to know how to operate in the system. Even after you reveal the truth, saying radio, you still have 99% of people that wants to operate in the system. And the reason being because once you make yourself a corporate citizen, if you can understand all the legalities and the time that it takes to do that, right? And I have someone else that's coming in on Facebook says, "I've been telling people for years, but no one paid attention." And see, the thing is, a lot of people tell people this information, but they don't know how to actually make them a corporate citizen, right? They don't know the steps that it will take to really, they tell people, they inform, but they don't tell people the real steps that you have to take in order for this process. And then even if they had the knowledge to help them make the transition, right, from not being government control or highly taxed cash cows or government slaves, and that your birth certificate is really, again, Federal Reserve notes along with your Social Security card, then once you become a corporate citizen, that means you are not in position to get any government assistance, right? So now, if you're in an accident, for example, and you have to be hospitalized in your corporate citizenship, you can't receive that medical care, or you can't receive any government benefits. You can't receive any social security benefits. You couldn't receive any Medicare or Medicaid. You couldn't receive any stimulus, right? You could not receive, you'll be out of the taxation system, right? But a lot of people do especially if they have a salary under 40K, get tax returns, right? That help them make it throughout the year. And so a lot of times, the reason why people don't listen to people that inform them about their birth certificates or Federal Reserve notes and their Social Security cards, right? Because when Social Security numbers was created, right, it was created with the intent, according to the government, in order to pay people SSI, right? In order to pay people their Social Security benefits when they retire, maybe at the age of 62 or 65, right? And so that was the initial, they said, benefit of even creating a Social Security number, because it would be for workers in the workplace to receive that benefit. And then it became a taxation, right? A taxation method, and or a way to tax people 20 to 30%. Now, I'm going to also show you all who are my Facebook page. Dave Ramsey, I think, is the biggest oppressor or person that keeps people highly oppressed financially, following Dave Ramsey and his advice. He had a Facebook tweet, and I'm showing 354 people live on my YouTube channel. So I want you all to make sure you hit the thumbs up, right? If this education or information will change your life financially, support, even on Instagram and Periscope. Show some hearts, invite your followers in, and on Facebook, like and share. Every time that you like or you hit the heart button, right, it will invite more people in to get this information. So we have over 300 people on my YouTube channel. I'm not sure how many thumbs up, but you all hit those thumbs up. So this is Dave Ramsey post. He says a 0% loan is still debt, right? This was on his Facebook. A 0% loan is still debt. And this is my response to Dave Ramsey, is that when you use that debt, however, when you use that debt to invest, you will get tax deductions, which for the average American saves them 20 to 30%. So 0% interest rate or 0% loan, right? When used to invest and not to be a consumer, is way better than using the money that you make from your job or labored income, because that money that you have on your job is taxed at 20 or 30%. So when you look at the percentage wise, getting the bank's money at 0% is way better strategy for investing than using your money from a job in which you're taxed 20 to 30%. And so I put in my comments today, Ramsey, to teach the entire truth, right? Teach people the entire truth. He does not give people a holistic financial education. Now, do you have some people that abuse the credit system and credit cards and debt and loan? Yes, they do. They go out, they go on vacations, they go on shopping sprees, they get the brand clothing, things that depreciate in value, right? And they use credit for all of those negative things instead of using credit to invest in assets, things that put money into your pockets, right? And not things that take money out of your pockets. So let's get on Elon Musk real quick, and then we're going to dig deep into the birth certificate. I do also have in that Elon Musk exposed the truth. Overseer says that's powerful. The holistic, yes, teach the holistic truth when it comes to finances, not portion of it, not part of it, because a lot of you all have not been taught that gold and silver is real money as well, right? You haven't been taught that you've been taught that this fiat currency, which is made up of 75% cotton, you still have people that's chasing cotton. You've been taught that this is real currency and you chase this. And so you don't, you're not taught or educated about assets. This is not gold, but it's gold like. It's something that I put on my phones to eliminate radiation. And that's a whole nother live stream I can do about radiation, about this 5G, about what it's doing to your health, right? And they're calling it another name, right? I don't want to get my video tagged, but it's just gold. So I put, I have it here. A lot of people also, this is kind of on topic but off topic because I'm teaching about the holistic truth, right? Don't know that even the milk, eggs that you drink have high amounts of radiation to keep them on more, to extend the shelf life, to keep it from spoiling. And so your dietary plan has so much radiation in it, right? From milk and eggs and produce. And now you have um, Bill Gates that wants to put the Beyond Meat on the shelf, right? And this 100% synthetic meat, right? And now you see the grocery stores right now through this um, climate controlled snow that was created by man that overwhelmed the South to come in. Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi in particular, and even New York and Oklahoma, right? And you have states, neighboring states like Alabama and Georgia that was not even affected, but yet their Walmart, their grocery store chains have no food. And so Bill Gates is not a stranger to telling people that he wants to control the climate and he wants to control the food supply. He's the largest farmland owner in the United States. And the state that he has the most farmland is Louisiana, over 6,000 acres. So many people that question if HARP, right, HARP climate control, which many believe control the hurricane in Haiti, was there any way connected to Hurricane Katrina, right? Is there any way connected to Hurricane Katrina? So I do see you on Instagram. You're requesting to be in my live video. I don't know who you are. Just let me know why you're requesting because I am live streaming on my other platforms. Three other platforms, as a matter of fact, Facebook, um, Periscope, and YouTube. So I'm just not on Instagram. But I did see your comment that says, "In God we trust. Trust gold, oil, and diamonds." I would say trust silver, right? Silver first, God's money, because silver will be more used for industrial and monetary purposes. And if you can find silver right now on the online through bullion dealers, right, the dollar cost average of silver is will give you a greater return. Like for the middle class, I tell people all the time, middle class has to invest in gold and silver money as investments, right? However, the rich and wealthy can invest in gold and silver as insurance. It's a big difference. So gold and silver, because it is real money, it is God's money, right? You take the L out of gold, you have God created from a and supernova event in cyberspace, right? The same way, right? The same way that Bitcoin is created, right? The same, and what many people don't understand, they don't believe in Bitcoin. This is why, because they don't reference the Bible of John 10:34 that says we are gods. They're wondering how can a cryptocurrency like a Bitcoin have the same God-like qualities of gold and silver? Because once you tap into your higher being and higher power, right, you can do God-like things on earth, which is what we're supposed to do anyway. His purpose is he wants the earth to look like the kingdom, his kingdom, right? He said the kingdom of heaven. This is Sunday, so we are having credit church. Again, 392 people live on YouTube. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. Want to bring the kingdom of heaven, according to Proverbs 9:1, is within us. So we have God-like mind, qualities, and abilities on this earth. And Bitcoin is a direct duplication of gold, but in a digital form, right? And so that's why when people tell me they are selling their Bitcoin, they don't understand that Bitcoin, like gold and silver, um, at this point, as of February 21st, has no government control. No company controls it like Robinhood that took control over what stocks you can and cannot buy, how many options you can put in, that took control over the GameStop short squeeze situation, right? With Bitcoin, there is no government control, no company at this point, right? Now, did the government compensate some Bitcoin? Do the government own some Bitcoin? Yes, they do. But at this point, there's no government control. Now, the only government control with gold and silver is that they suppress the price of gold and silver. It is highly suppressed, right? Because right now, silver should be valued at least $1,000 an ounce, and gold anywhere from 10,000 to 20,000. Why? Because the government is creating more stimulus and stimuli. And when they create this 75% cotton money, real money, again, this is not gold, it's just something that I have um, my radiation protection, right? So it looks like gold. So I'll use this as an example, the EMF. But once more of this is printed, right, then this gold, real gold, and silver has to reset the currency system. And as you all know, the United States, I have someone in from Spain. I'm so glad to have you in from Spain, who's also a Patreon member. I'm glad to have you in. That $27 trillion of paper currency, and much of that money was printed, that was just printed just last year alone, right? Since 1974, people, this has lost 94% of its purchasing power since 1974. So if you have a historic background, you know that in 1971, President Nixon, right, removed the dollar from the gold standard, and this became dead. And let me show you what I mean by that, right? Hello from Instagram, World Boss British. British is in on IG. What do I mean? And Instagram, you won't be able to see this, but on my YouTube and Periscope and audience will. So now you see the Federal Reserve note, right? It used to read in gold coin payable to the bearer on demand. I will show you all like this. I can show you on IG, right? Exactly, Ronnie. Ronnie got that life says, see, nothing but an IOU. Who do they owe? Well, number one, they owe the American citizens, right? Because in 1933, they made anyone that owned gold in America to turn in their gold to the government. And if they did not, they had a $10,000 fine and or 10 years in jail and prison, right? So fiat currency explained. Now it reads, payable will pay to the bearer on demand. This is what it reads now. And this is what it used to read. And I'm showing IG some examples, you all. Even they used to have silver dollars, right? So it used to read silver dollar, or $20 of gold certificate. Now it reads payable to the bearer on demand, 10, maybe on $10 bill, etc. And now it doesn't even say payable to the bearer on demand. Now on the bottom of your currency, your printed money, it just says $10 or whatever the amount. This is the old example as well too. It used to read in gold coin, right? And so a lot of people don't know this history, and so they don't understand how or why the dollar has lost its purchasing power. Now, speaking of gold and silver, then I'm going to get into the birth certificate information that you all are all on the edge of your seats for, right? I want to share this one last email by Elon Musk. If you all do not follow him on Twitter, um, someone on my YouTube said they owe us big time. But you know what? They also owe black people in the black and brown community, right? Not only did they confiscate people's gold and silver in 1930s, right? America was built on the free labor of, I don't like really using saying African Americans because that's just one of the terms that Jesse Jackson created in the 90s. So I just say it this way, people in the black and brown community. And if you want to have true reparations, don't give us, right? Reparations are there. Don't give us this paper currency. Look, we work years. That's what the Industrial Revolution was about, right? This is what the Civil War. The Civil War was based off slavery, people. It was based off slavery, right? During the Civil War, right? We were at a point where, our United States was at a point where they couldn't afford slaves, couldn't afford it. And so when Eli Whitney created the cotton gin, it put the United States back on the map financially, economically. So that's why when you hear President Trump or former President Trump relate to make America great again, you have to ask yourself, when was America great? It was during slavery. It was the most wealthiest country in the world. That's why it became the world reserve currency eventually during the Bretton Woods agreements, right? Because free labor, slaves made America great. And then Eli Whitney, cotton gin, right, was able to process cotton in um, a higher speed. And now, right, now, or during then the Civil War when America almost could not afford slaves, well, now that commodity cotton made us rich and wealthy. And so, if you really want to talk about true reparations, because Biden and the White House have reparations talk, but now they want to give you all this depreciating 75% currency. If you want to talk about true reparations, then you will give people in the black and brown community that was a victim of this and their ancestors the land. You would give them the 40 acres. The land that Bill Gates has accumulated belongs to people in the black and brown community because, again, he is the largest land owner, right? So let me read some comments. The U.S. Corporation of 1871. Someone asked, can you use a second social security number legal and how? I'm not about to do a live stream about CPNs and illegal social security numbers. No, you can't. I tell anybody the best way to not be a corporate slave through your birth certificate without relinquishing your rights, right? Because this is the same as the Federal Reserve note and your Social Security card. I'm going to go into this, is to get you a home-based business, right? And let me explain this why. I got this too in front of me. You all ever questions why? And I think I black everything out. No, I didn't black out my address. Let me make sure I black out my address. Have you ever questioned why, when you receive bills in the mail, your name is in all caps? Just look on any billing statement, right? Look on any billing statement. Your name is in all caps. You are a cash cow, an economic slave to your United States corporation through your birth certificate and your social security card. That's why your bills that come to the mail are in all cap letters, right? One more comment. We will have to claim our nationality on record to go after reparations, claim what our ancestors was calling themselves before the British came here. So exactly, Donald, you all, this birth certificate made us or you the straw man, made you the straw man, right? Made you the straw man. So, right, on Instagram, make your business. So, what you do is you take your name that's in all caps, even on your social security card or birth certificate. Have you all noticed that no one ever has their original birth certificate? You only get duplicates and copies, right? Because the United States sell them. And so what you have to do is get a corporation name, right, under a business entity, and then you replace that SSN with a business identification number, which is also reference to a EIN, right? So the last thing about Elon Musk, and then again, we're going deep into or deeper into the birth certificate. This is Elon Musk's tweet. He says, an email saying you have gold is not the same as having gold. You might as well have crypto. Money is just data, right, that allows us to avoid the inconvenience of the barter. You remember I showed you all how money used to say, or at the bottom of it, this is payable to the barter. So he says money is just data that allows you to be inconvenienced of the barter. Now the bottom of your fiat currency, and I don't think I have this $100 bill. If I had like a $10 or $20 bill, you can see the money on the bottom, right? Because I don't keep a lot of cash on me. I don't. Who is the barter, right? The inconvenience of the barter is the person that you really owe, and as well as United States, the physical silver and gold to, right? China right now, yeah, I don't have a smaller. Oh, yes, I do. China right now, right? Well, I have $50. See, it just says $50 on, it, right? It just says $50. The same thing would be with a 10, or it used to be payable to the barter. See, this is why you all need to study the history of money. But it used to say BARTER. And so now, right now, China has the largest reserve of money, which is real gold, right, in their central reserve banks, right? Jack says, thank you for the information. As I'm putting together a small business, how do I get a business bank account in Jersey for little money? Jack, I only help people through the home-based business entity. Go to my website, fixmycreditandcash.com. I do not help people with the LLC or C Corp because with the home-based business, you have over 475 tax deductions. It's more cost efficient. You mentioned how do you get a small business bank account for a little money? The home-based business is $250 one-time investment to start. And so I always encourage people to go the home-based business route because even with this winter storm, right, that came about and people could not move their trucks and transport or go out and do physical work, you can still make money from home, being that you had electricity, right? And that you still had electricity, and you can put it on autopilot. So whether you had electricity or not, the people that were in the home-based business that was still doing the videos concerning the business, and it was networking, could have still helped you and position you to make money even without you having access to electricity. I believe in a networking connection, right? As was my favorite quote, John D. Rockefeller, I think, said he would rather make 1%, right? He would rather earn 1% from 100 people efforts than 100% of his own. So I don't teach solo business teaching, right? I believe that there's two things that keep you broke: banks and the schooling system. And the number one thing that the schooling system teach people is to do things solo, right? Do them alone. I believe in networking for business. Anybody that's smart, any intelligent, rich and wealthy people do it through teamwork and networking, not soloing, because there's so many other details, right? Intricate details that come with doing a business of your own. You got to know how to market. And if you have been in a recession, right, when people are holding tight to their cash, they're going to go with businesses that have experience and years behind them, not new startups, because they want to do business with people that they trust. And also, when people start businesses on their own, they often don't last. New business, the lifetime for new business startup is 2 to 3 years, right? Yes, on Instagram said, together we stand, divided we fall. So true. Right. So that's why I don't like to read comments, because I'll get off topic, sorry, when I read comments. And so let's get into so Elon Musk, right, his tweet was about the barter. The barter, if you all don't know, the reason why 1971 President Nixon removed gold from the dollar from gold, and the dollar became debt. It's because Spain was on their way to the United States in warships. Other countries began to see how much the United States was printing out dollars, and they said, "Look, this is depreciating. This is the value. Do they even have the gold in reserve?" That's because the dollar was as good as gold and as good as silver, because again, silver and gold is real money. And other countries began to notice the printing and the debt of the United States, and they said, "Look, you all can have this." They brought bag loads of cash, and they said, "Get, yeah, you all can have this cash. It's worthless. It's not backed by gold and silver anymore. We don't think you all even have the gold and silver to back this." And again, the dollar was the world reserve currency because of the Industrial Revolution and the Civil War, and that positioned us to be the world reserve currency, right? Because of the free labor of the black and brown community and the slaves, and the invention of the cotton gin by Eli Whitney. But about 40 years of the country said, we don't think you all as rich as you all think you are, right? Because now it's shifted from cotton, right, into other warehouse jobs with Henry Fords and manufacturing, et cetera, et cetera. And you know what? In order to stop Spain from getting our gold, because we had more gold leaving the United States, because other countries were retrieving it and turning the dollar back in, President Nixon had to make an announcement, right? So that's what the barter is that used to be on the bottom of our dollars. So um, Elon Musk says money is just data that allows us to avoid the inconvenience of the barter. That data, like our data, is subject to error. Lately in error, the system will evolve, right, to which will minimize both. Now he's referring to Peter Schiff. You all don't know who Peter Schiff is. He's a big economist that also talks about um, having physical possession of gold in particular, not necessarily silver. Again, I like silver because it's both monetary and industrial use, especially for 5G, especially for this new fourth industrial revolution, which will be artificial intelligence and robots, which mean electronic cars, right? Which mean robots will be creating this beyond meat that Bill Gates want, and not people. I just shared it on my Facebook page. I read the article, right? It will be used for 5G towers, for your smartphones that people have to do cryptocurrency and mobile banking. And so on Instagram, he says, "Oh, thank you." He said, "I love this page. I read a book called Currency Was Now, and I know that the information of the almighty dollar, the information that the almighty dollar as the world reserve currency is on, it is definitely, the dollar is definitely on life support. It is definitely on life support. So if you are hoarding or still trying to save that dollar and you're not converting the asset, once the central banks create their own cryptocurrency to distribute it and you through your digital wallets, that means most people will not have any assets. Once this housing market crash happens in March and people lose their homes, right? It began in March 31st, where the moratorium evictions end, and even coming up March 13th, where the extra unemployment ends. Most people will not have any assets in possession. So Peter Schiff responded, is an email from your brokerage firm saying that you own Tesla stock the same as having a physical Tesla certificates in your hand? And he says you might as well have crypto, because with Peter Schiff, he does, right, or his company sell people certificates of ownership, or that they are storing their physical gold and silver. But Elon Musk was like, if that's what you're getting and you don't have the physical gold and silver, right, then you don't own it. The same thing with cryptocurrency. If you have Bitcoin on Robinhood, or you have Bitcoin on Cash App, if you don't have the key to it, it's just like having a house, right? If no keys, no house. It's just like buying a house and you do not have the keys to that house. You just have the paperwork, or what it appears to be the owner. You're not the owner without the keys. That's why I always advise people about buying their Bitcoin, for example, on exchanges like Robinhood and Cash App. So let's get into the birth certificate, and then I'm signing out. Right? It's already been 40 minutes, but yeah, I have to provide the financial education, and even before we can even have this conversation, right? So birth certificates, let me blow this up. And again, on Instagram, you can't see what I'm showing, but you can follow along. Are federal bank notes, right? Birth certificates are federal bank notes. And it's showing his birth certificate. It's an article written in 2016, right? And it reads, the American bank note is subsidiary of the American Bank Note Corporation. And products range from currencies and credit. This is why I tell people, learn how. There was a scene in Malcolm X, right, in which Denzel Washington played Malcolm X. And when he's in jail, the first thing his mentor takes him to the library and they open up the dictionary, right? He asks him, have you ever looked up the dictionary of the meaning of black and white as defined in the dictionary? And so after they look at the two opposing definitions, right, Denzel then asked him, or aka Malcolm X, why do I need to know this? And he said, well, if you don't know their words, right, then you don't know how to use it against them to educate the people. So if you don't ever get to the understanding of how to use credit, even though that United States is a credit debt-based system with the dollar, because the dollar again is nothing but an IOU, is not backed by gold and silver anymore. It used to be backed by oil, right? It was called the petrodollar, right? Now we see the oil industry has sunk, right? Because the United States made Saudi Arabia exchange its oil for its dollars. Then it became known as the petrodollar. So it did have at that point another commodity backing it, but it's not even backed by oil anymore, because Saudi Arabia and China and Russia are now not exchanging their oil for US dollars. I don't know if you all knew that. So you have to understand that the United States is a debt-based system, meaning that the dollar is dead. So you have to take that dollar and flip it and convert it into assets. And even the credit that they make available to you through your social security number, you have to take that credit, or you should take that credit and stop being a consumer and start getting assets with it. Because your social security and birth certificate are already sold, and you are already a debt or in debt to the United States when you have a job through birth and through using your social security to apply for a job. It's your identification number. So you have to use credit and flip it to get access. Not like Dave Ramsey says, don't use credit at all. No, you don't use credit to be a consumer, but use it to get access. right? So, um, from credit cards to passports to driver's license and birth certificates. And the USA citizens have never attained their original birth certificate, right? They have never obtained their original birth certificate, and what they possess is a copy. Furthermore, these copies have serial numbers on them issued through special bank bond, right? Furthermore, the copies of your birth certificate, let me say that again, have serial numbers on them. Look at your birth certificate, right? They have serial numbers on them. So does your social security card at the back of it, right? Those red letters in all cap have serial numbers, such as cash currency, right? If you look at the numbers, not the letters in your cash, they're in all caps. I mean, the letters are in all caps, right? But you have 8 numbers. Do not count the letters on your cash. You have 8 numbers. Likewise, you have 8 numbers on your social security card. These are serial numbers. So if you're earning money through a job, you are taxed 20 to 30% in this cash flow quadrant, or the cash flow quadrant that Robert Kiyosaki says. So that's why, right, that is best if you earn your money in the business and investor side of the cash flow quadrant and not the employee or self-employed side. Because now you are the government's cash cow and you labor, and that's why you always broke. You earn your money in the wrong column, under the wrong name, under the wrong serial number. That's why your bills, again, are all caps. The bills you get in your house, because you are the government's corporation. You need to earn money under a business corporation in all caps name, not your birth certificate name, right? Or government issued name. And you need to earn your money, or I highly advise, I'm not your financial advisor. You should earn your money not under your SSN number, but under a EIN, and right, employer identification number, or the business EIN number. And this is why a lot of people are still broke. Right? Someone on Instagram said, not the straw man stuff again. You can call it what you want to. I'm not telling people to convert themselves out of a corporate citizen. I'm telling them you should have a home based business. If you're earning money under your birth certificate serial number and your social security number, you are taxed more than Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, who are two richest, wealthiest men in the United States. Even Warren Buffett says tax wise, he's taxed less than his secretary. Instagram said you're not making money until you're making money when you're not working. Subliminally, right. You're not making money until you can make money in your sleep and without your efforts and your labor all the time. Um, Excellent information. Thank you. You're so welcome, right? And so now these copies of your Social Security, they're the American banknote. What you all don't know, right? That these copies, you get the copies of your birth certificate and Social Security cards. You don't get the originals, right? They're issued on special bank bond paper. Well, this is where people get the straw man. And they are authorized by the American Banknote Company. You don't know that. So the original birth certificate for you all, or me, or naturalization record for every U.S. citizen, did you all know this, is held in Washington, D.C. And it's the property and assets of every U.S. citizen, every living U.S. citizen. And you are pledged for collateral for the national debt. Look at the U.S. national debt clock, $27 trillion. You are pledged through collateral. Thank you so much, Monique, for the $20 super chat. And someone said they're going to call you conspiracy theory. I don't care what they call me. I'm giving you our education. If you want to call this conspiracy theory, then go do your own research and due diligence. Only ignorant people, right, care about being called a conspiracy theory. This is all information, but you got people that read less and watch television more. So your original birth certificates for every United States citizen is held in Washington, D.C. And the property and assets of every living U.S. citizen is pledged for collateral for national debt. Go to usdebtclock.org. So every citizen is giving a number, right? You also should have the serial number on your birth certificate and the red number on your social security card in the back. And each live birth is reported to be valued, people check this out, between 650,000 to 750,000 Federal Reserve dollars, right, in collateral from the Fed. So pretty much it's saying that you are owned by the system, literally. You're valued at your birth certificate is valued anywhere between 650 to $750,000. So the government recognizes you as two asset classes, right? Or two distinct classes. A state citizen and a federal citizen. You have freedom over security. You're considered as a state citizen and a federal citizen. There are hundreds of thousands of sovereignties in the United States of America, right? So the government does not have financial interest in their land, even though they will possess a lot of mortgages and foreclosures, right? But unless they accept the benefits from a contract, federal government, right? They don't have to pay the Social Security tax, the federal income tax, or resident income tax. When the government gets money from the Fed, they have to pay that back with interest, and they pay it back. That's why at your job, it's called the HR department. You are the human resource. You, you are the government's human resource. You, right? Someone on Periscope, thank you. You are the government's human resource. That's why you got issues on your job. You got some with your payroll, problem with your employer, problem with your coworker. You have to go to HR, human resource. You, through that birth certificate and that serial number that's in Washington. Periscope said Noah was a conspiracy theory. Then it started raining. Thank you, Periscope. Yeah, people thought Noah was ignorant. They listen, people. They had never seen rain ever. They thought it was crazy. They had never seen rain. They said, man, you building a boat for something that we call it rain? What is rain? No, it did look like conspiracy theory. But to me, I don't even think that's a, a, a equal um, comparison, right? Because this is all information people would just read. You want the people that saying conspiracy theories, the people that don't read, right? Gigi says most people don't want to hear the truth. Oh, well, let them sit back and be misinformed. And so instead of cutting up your credit cards, following Dave Ramsey, not afraid to use that to invest, right? And get real assets. Some of you, I don't know what real assets are. You still think that cash is. And you don't understand that it's gold and silver, it's money. This is just legal tender. And you, every time you work your job, you get taxed. You take on half of this because the government takes. See, what you all don't know is that from January to April, the first 4 months of the year, right, you're working for the government. That's why the deadline to file taxes is April the 15th. See, I'm gonna make it real simple for you. You want to call me conspiracy? Let's make it real simple. The deadline to file taxes is April 15th because January through April, you work for the government through your taxes, through your paycheck. That's why when people join my home-based business, instead of get 15 tax deductions as an employee, they get 475 as now a corporation. And they don't have to do anything with the straw man. They don't have to lose none of that. They don't have to take years and research. They just stop making the money from their paycheck and under their name and their social security, and they transfer to a business. And I have one person, for example, $1,400 more out of his paycheck simply because it's called hybrid entrepreneurship. And people would still ask me, right? Do I have to invest $79 a month? They could be getting $500 to $1,000 more every paycheck, but $79 a month investment will make them cut out those benefits because they still have that slave employee mentalities, right? No, it's not you. Linden is somehow on Instagram. I think they're off now. They said, another straw man. But no, we believe you. I was only saying because I always get called that when they're well, a lot of people call people conspiracy theory when they try to explain this because they explain it to them and they don't, first of all, they don't explain it to them in a very simple way, the way I'm doing it. And then even if the people did believe what you were saying, you don't have a solution. How many people that you know are really um, have denied their citizenship? I know I met maybe one. I seen one birth certificate that maybe one. But and then they don't tell you all the other benefits that you have to relinquish as a part of that. That means you get no government help at all. No Medicare, no Medicaid, no if we still have SSI because it's about to be bankrupt. But you get in an accident, you can't go to maybe some hospitals to get health care, health treatment. You can't own any type of gun or license or permit. You can't register your cars or your driver's license unless they drive commercially. See, this is the part that people don't tell them. That's why people say you're crazy because you don't explain it in a simple way. Maybe I'm saying that's what people call you, and you don't give them the whole picture. So you can't even register for a driver's license or permit unless you're registering it corporately, right? I mean commercially, yeah, through a corporation. You don't have a health security card. Again, no type of gun without a license because you don't have driver's without a permit. You don't have the same court system that normal people do, right? Which sometimes is a good thing, right? But again, there are 317 million U.S. citizens that are worth about 700,000 in a collateral debt for the United States. That's roughly $222 trillion, people. Your birth certificate is really a banknote, such as your social security card, right? And it's known in the stock market as a commodity. Your birth certificate can also be sold on the stock market as commodity. Commodity is a basic good used in commerce, right? With other commodities of the same type. You're traded on the exchange, people. And you know what? It doesn't matter your color or your creed. Just like black and brown slaves was traded on the exchange on the auction block. With your birth certificate and social security, if you're earning biz or money under that and you don't have a corporation to earn that business name under, you are exchange commodities. You're still economic slaves. That's why you're broke. That's why Dave Ramsey keeps people in oppression. He doesn't tell you to use credit to get assets. Just tell you don't use credit. You should use credit. It's easier to use credit at 0% interest rate than to use your cash that you labor for that you can tax 20 and 30% on. And Make yourself a home-based business entity. Home-based business, why? Because the things within wherever you reside in, your house, your condo, your apartment, your square footage, some of your utilities, your cell phone, your mileage, things that you can't do, right, as a solo business, you can do and have more tax write-offs under a home-based business. Right. So go to my website, fixmycreditandcash.com, if you're interested in doing it that route where you don't have to relinquish all your rights. Right. Um, just want to share that information with you all. Another thing people don't know that the United States declared bankruptcy. I believe it's gonna declare bankruptcy again because they're gonna do away with the cash paper currency. We're moving to crypto. And so when it filed bankruptcy in the 1930s, right, it pledged all Americans as collateral against the national debt. Again, and it confiscated all of the gold, eliminating means by which you can pay on an assumed legal responsibility for debt. That's called an exemption, right? Exemption means you don't have to pay for anything. In practical terms, it means that it meant that giving every or each American something to pay with. Something was your credit, right? So it took away your opportunities to really exempt debt, right? And now you just kind of discharge it if you're paying something with cash in such a way. But now that debt is discharged, that means that you have to be taxed at a higher rate to earn that money to discharge that debt. All right, so answer some questions and I'm logging off, right? Thank you so much, Instagram. I don't go Instagram live a lot. I probably will start doing that much more. Have very running. Stay with me to the all the way to the end. This has been over an hour. Rick says I do have my original birth certificate, but it's a different than the copies from, but it's a different than I don't believe that Rick, no one has their original birth certificate on that bond paper. No one does. So you're one out of millions of Americans. You have copies of the originals. But anyway, it doesn't matter, even if you have the original, if you're still getting taxed under the serial number of that birth certificate and your social security card, you're still a debt slave to United States citizen. I mean, United States of America. So I'm not even getting into this petty stuff. You want to say you have your original, fine. Do you have a home-based business? That's the question. Or are you getting taxed at 20, 30%? And that's why you're living paycheck to paycheck, or as Dr. Lynn Richardson says, paycheck to Monday. Meaning you get paid Friday and Monday you're broke. Oh, let me share another thing with you. Big Money said this was great on Instagram. Thank you so much. Yes, United States was bankrupt since 1931. Now, let me share this other thing with you. This other article that I read. People that receive their unemployment benefits, article just released, they have to pay back taxes. hmm They have to pay back taxes. And also, I read an article about the humanoid robots handling groceries. I'm gonna show you all because I post a lot of this stuff on my Facebook. Some of you all missed the point. I have my original birth certificate. No, you don't. But if you want to believe that, fine. Right? If you want to believe that, fine. Are you being taxed on that birth certificate? That's the point, right? A human touch. This is experimenting with robots can handle the delicate. Your birth certificate is in Washington D.C., Mr. Rick. But anyway, can handle delicate groceries and do repairs at the same time. Cato doesn't expect all this pandemic-driven revenue boost to last. So this is the new robot they have doing stocks. You all want to know why Walmart, for example, is giving the people in the stock department and in Digital sales, a $15 pay raise, right? You want to know why? Because when Joe Biden, right, increased the tax laws for Americans over, was it 400K? Or businesses that's over 400K? See, these businesses include businesses like Starbucks and Walmart. So they give you two, $3 little tax raise, $15 minimum wage to decrease their taxable income that they have to pay to the government. See, big corporations do things all the time to reduce their taxable income. You all just don't. You don't. You know why you get that 1099-C form in the mail when you don't pay back a debt collector? Because companies and big businesses, they use that as tax write-offs. Everybody have tax write-offs except people that work jobs, and that's why you're living paycheck to paycheck. You're getting taxed at 20 to 30, or in some cases 30 to 40%. And even if you have an LLC, or you're an independent contractor, or you're a doctor, or you're a lawyer, or you're soloist, you have your own independent practice, you're taxed from 40 to 50%. So everybody says hello. Then he says tax salary, tax employee, taxes for every single purchase. Yeah, tax you. Listen, you find ways you're taxed. When you earn money, then when you spend money, you got to tax. Even you can't go make groceries. You spend money, you tax. And then when you save money, you're taxed. How you tax when you save money, Queen? Because the banks pay you nothing to save it, right? Cash is the lowest yielding asset there is at 0.8% interest rate. See, prior to 1971, you used to be able to put cash in the bank, get you a CD, right? Get you a certificate of savings, and they'll pay you 15%. Now they're not paying you anything, right? Because since 1974, it's lost 90% of its purchasing power. So you tax when you save because that's called the silent tax, which is inflation, the increased prices of your everyday goods and services. Then you tax when you die. Yes, you are. When your loved one get that bill, you're taxed. And then you tax. And if you don't know how to invest, when you invest, but at least you're taxed less, right? And so the last thing, jobless Americans. Ronnie says, you made me put on all my higher mental superpowers to work today. Thank you so much. I'm glad I did go. I have some good quality people on Instagram, so I'm so glad that I went live on Instagram today. So last thing, and then we're closing, right? Jobless Americans face surprise tax bills on unemployment benefits, right? It says it's an absurd twist. Many say they might be forced to use the next round of government stimulus checks to pay the government. There's no free lunch with the government. People, whether you're watching this live in the replay, put that in the comment section, right? Make a mind message connection. There is no free lunch with the government. It's people thought they was getting tax returns, and now they're getting notices that you owe the government, right? That was on this unemployment. So if you think that they always have your best interest in mind, think again. Again, that's why your bills come in the mail in all caps. Your birth certificate and social security, serial number, so you can be highly taxed. Stop earning money in just your name and social security. You are highly taxed. You all, thanks for tuning in. Thanks, Curtis. Thanks for everybody. Curtis, I need to make you a moderator. Let me see, can I do that now? Even though sometimes me and Curtis don't totally agree, he's there you go, Curtis. I gave you a wrench. Thank you so much, Curtis. You all said real truth. Thank you so much, Patrick. You all, there's a lot of energy that I stand in teaching this, right? Again, if you want to know how to invest in cryptocurrency, which is the new digital dollar, go to my website, Fix My Credit. That's FIX mycreditandcash.com. You want to know about investing in silver, right? Many people don't have the 1800 for gold, right? But anybody should be able to get, 30, hundreds of dollars worth of silver, which will then, it's best to buy silver now anyway because of the gold silver ratio. Silver is going to be high demand. People with these solar panels, solar energy going green, right? This winter storm in Dallas and Texas and parts of Texas is going to, you do know that Texas has backup generators, so they was wondering why so many people, right? Um, so many people were without energy, right? Because they have these solar panels and energy backup reserves in Texas. So that's a whole other discussion for another day. And people are getting thousands of dollars of electrical bills already in Texas. Right. Patrice says, you're welcome, Curtis. Patrice says, it's so true, my tax clients that I receive. Right. And anybody that's in the tax field, I hope they're educating their clients that they need a home-based business. You're interested in buying silver, go. I have a silver stacking report. It's a $35 investment. And I also have because a lot of people ask me about crypto. I also have a queen of crypto cash on crypto report. You can get the silver stacking report for $35. You can get both of them two for $60. That save you like $10. Or you can just get the queen of crypto cash on crypto report for $50. So that's $50 within itself. Hey, I'm signing out. Um, my Facebook should be Queen of Crypto on Facebook. Or did I change? I used to be Queen of Credit, right? I do want to do some credit things too, so I might do a second video today. I'm on my way to the gym. I may or may not. Depends on how I feel. Just know that you have to have higher credit scores now to qualify for apartment. So evictions are coming up, right? And cryptocurrency is the new money. Hey, I'm signing out for the fifth time. Thank you. Says my report was awful. I mean, not awesome, not awful. You tell I'm getting tired now. It says, my report was awesome. Thank you so much. All right, you all. I'm signing out. Thank you so much. Queen reports are amazing. Get them ASAP. Get them ASAP. Right, I'm mispronouncing stuff. So thank you all for the endorsement and the promotion and letting people know. And those report helps you as well. You all have a great